The Chicago Cubs pull out another thrilling victory with a one-run lead held on by Daniel Palencia. And of course, the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Tucker are going to be precautionary with this apparent injury that he suffered on Tuesday. And last but not least, the Chicago Cubs keep on building up that momentum. We got to talk about it. It's time for Chicago Cubs Central. Let's do it, baby. Yes, y'all. What's going on? It's your boy Mike Jones back again with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I'm your host. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, man, the Chicago Cubs go ahead and pull out a series victory, getting their 80th win of the season against the Atlanta Braves, a game where it looked like Atlanta was getting ready to build a comeback, but the Chicago Cubs bullpen did what they needed to do and finished this one off. Shota Imanaga was all right. He was not super sharp. He also was not super bad either. But like I said, he also did get the run support he needed in order to be able to nab his win. But yeah, man, the Chicago Cubs do what they need to do. They pull out that victory. And of course, every single time the Chicago Cubs win, we do here on Chicago Cubs Central. That's right, baby. We fly the W. That's right. Every single time the Chicago Cubs win a game, whether it be on the road, whether it be at home, we celebrate it by flying the W 80 times this season, y'all, already. We are in the month of September 2nd, September 3rd, and we have flown the W 80 times. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. Listen, the Chicago Cubs are definitely set to potentially break that record of the last past 2 years and get more wins than they have in the last past 2 years. And listen, that's what it's all about. It's about improvement, and it's about building up on what you did last year. And there's expectations for this team. Now, those expectations could obviously be derailed by our first topic, which is Kyle Tucker hit a 3-run homer in this game, his 22nd homer of the season, and his first Oppo Taco homer of the year. That's right, his first opposite home run of the year. That's right. And Kyle Tucker is indeed your pick to perform player of the game in this one. That's right. Kyle Tucker went in this game and he was 2 for 3 with 1 run, 1 home run, and 3 RBIs in this game. Shota Imanaga pitched 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, another quality start for him. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, only 2 strikeouts in this game, but he got the outs when he needed. He is more of a fly ball pitcher than a strikeout pitcher. That splitter sometimes just has people fooled, but a lot of people have tape on it now, so they're kind of knowing what to look for with that splitter. And then Drew Pomeranz came in after him, pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit and 1 strikeout. Then Caleb Thielbar came in 1 inning, didn't allow any hits, 1 strikeout on 11 pitches, 9 of those being strikes. And not last but not least, Daniel Palencia came into the game, pitched 1 inning, allowed 2 hits, but also got a strikeout and ended the game, shut the door on the Atlanta Braves. And the Cubs take the series, man, as they should. The 80th win of the season, going for win 81. And yeah, man, like I said, the Chicago Cubs did what they needed to do, but we got to focus in on Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker had this to say after the game. Kyle Tucker said that he just heard sorry, let me pull it up here on my notes real quick. Or not. Nah. Kyle Tucker, according to Craig Counsell, I'll do Craig Counsell's for soundbite first. He said Tucker felt something in his calf before the game, but it tightened up during the night, so he came out of the game, and he will be playing tomorrow. That they will not be playing tomorrow. That was reported by Jesse Rogers of ESPN. Kyle Tucker had to say that, like I said, he said it just progressively throughout the night started to feel worse and worse. And so they didn't want to risk it. They didn't want to put any more pressure on it or have it become something bigger than it needed to be. So he wanted to come out of the game. So like I said, it's one of those things where it's unfortunate. But Kyle Tucker, this injury could not come at a worser time. Hopefully, he does not miss a long assorted amount of time. Hopefully, he is able to hopefully he's able to recover from this, and he's able to do what he needs to do to be a part of the Chicago Cubs team. So, with that being said, Kyle Tucker needs to probably sit out. He will sit out Wednesday. He will not, and then the Cubs have an off day Thursday, and then honestly, we'll see about Friday. But you might give him a little bit just to get better. And then, like I said, you can easily have Carlos Santana DH for the Chicago Cubs, or have Justin Turner DH for the Chicago Cubs. Like I said, so you have multiple guys that can DH for you if you need a rest. So Kyle Tucker needs to take it easy. We need him for the postseason. The Chicago Cubs have a lot more baseball still left to be played, and I believe their best baseball is ahead of them. So again, it's left calf tightness. You don't want to risk that. He might have a quick DL stint. I'm sorry, not DL, IL stint. We'll just have to see what happens with that. But yeah, man, you got to be cautious with the King, man. We do not want any serious injuries coming to Kyle Tucker. We don't want to injure him anymore, especially risk missing out on the postseason because of this injury. So do what you got to do. Take a couple days, King Tuck. We will wait on you. But what we're not going to wait on is this next segment that we're going to talk about, which is the Cubs bullpen shutting the door on games. We'll talk about it right after these messages. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Jones here from Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. And I'm here to talk to you about a product that has changed my life and is changing lives all across the country. That's right. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is an all-natural ingredient that helps with energy and also helps you to be able to get done what you need to get done. It helps with focus, with energy, and helps you to power through even the toughest of days. That's right. I know you may think to yourself, Mike Jones, how could you possibly run 2 podcast channels, run a private business, work a full-time job, have a family, as well as do all the other extracurriculars that you enjoy doing? Listen, man, I'm telling y'all my secret right now. It's Dubby. Dubby has helped me so much. It not only helps me with energy to stay up while I'm at work instead of taking those midday naps. Instead, I take Dubby, and not only does it help me power through my work day, but it also helps me to be able to be my best version of myself when I get home for my family and for all of you when I'm recording my podcast. That's right. Dubby today can help you in so many different ways, guys. Listen, all you got to do is go online, search today for Dubby. You can be better. I love Dubby because it's jitterless energy and it helps so much. They have so many different unique flavors that you could only find through Dubby. And on top of that, it's made right here in the USA. Dubby has 0 sugar. Dubby is gluten-free. Dubby has no hidden ingredients in it. It's all fresh, all clean. It is the good stuff for you, made right here. And like I said, the drinks themselves, once you buy a jar, the drinks themselves basically come out to about $1 per drink when you make one. I take one, I put some cold water in my Dubby tumbler, and I shake it up, and I'm going about my day. And I've had so much success since. It's also helped with my focus. I'm telling you guys, if you don't use Dubby, you are missing out. And guess what? Today, when you choose to use Dubby, if you go to the Dubby website and you type in Cubs Central Pod 2024, when you place your order, you get 10% off today just for using Cubs Central Pod 2024 when you place your order. Guys, listen, I don't know what you're waiting on. Dubby has changed my life. It can change yours too. All you got to do, head over to the website. They have so many different flavors. Place your order and then press Cubs Central 2024, Cubs Central Pod 2024, and place your order today. Don't miss out, or else. So the Chicago Cubs bullpen has been come up major within the months of July and August, and of course into the month of September. And they're trending upward right now. I believe Craig Counsell is finally starting to finalize what the bullpen will look like for this year's Chicago Cubs wild card run. It looks like the Chicago Cubs will pose the threat of having Brad Keller, Andrew Kittredge, Daniel Palencia, Drew Pomerantz, Taylor Rogers, and you might see Javier Assad be on that as well. You also have Caleb Thielbar. You have to give credit where credit is due. These guys are seasoned veterans. Caleb Thielbar is 38 years old. Taylor Rogers is 34 years old. Drew Pomerantz is 36 years old. Andrew Kittredge is 35 years old. Brad Keller is 30 years old. And these guys, and for that matter, and Aaron Savali, is also 30 years old. So you look at this. This is a seasoned veteran group of bullpen pieces that knows what it takes to get the job done to win games. We have to look at what Aaron Savali did on Monday afternoon, and how he brought the Chicago Cubs through and allowed them to come back in that game by not giving up any more runs. And then, of course, if you look at all season long, the two stalwarts that have looked the best for the Chicago Cubs is Caleb Thielbar and Brad Keller, hands down. Those two gentlemen have carried the bullpen as far as I'm concerned. And you make the trade for Andrew Kittredge, who had his immaculate inning. And then you look at, somebody like Porter Hodge that's been up and down. But again, we'll see what happens. Ben Brown, again, somebody that's been up and down, been a starter as well as a reliever. But then you look at, Drew Pomerantz, and he's had some moments as well. And you just think to yourself, where would the Chicago Cubs be right now without these pieces? Where would the Chicago Cubs be? Definitely would not have a 99.7% chance of making the postseason if they did not have these pieces. So you got to look at that as a positive for what Jed Hoyer did in offseason. What are you guys' thoughts on the bullpen? Are they finally starting to figure it out? I like Aaron Savali and what he brings to the bullpen. I don't want him as a starter, but I like what he brings, giving you one inning here, maybe two innings there, being able to eat up some innings and things like that. I mean, he looked stellar Monday night. And then, of course, Caleb Thielbar and Caleb Thielbar and Brad Keller have pretty much looked stellar all season long. Brad Keller has not given up a run since the All-Star break. So you look at something like that, and that tells you, like, listen, man, this team they got some pieces, man. They got some pieces. They got some stuff to work with over here in this bullpen, and they are going to be tough to beat. What are your thoughts on the bullpen? What are you guys thinking about them? How you guys feeling about them? And of course, our last topic of tonight, the Braves and the Cubs will meet again 6:40 p.m. on Wednesday. That's right. It'll be Bryce Elder, who is 5-9 with a 5.85 ERA, going up against the leading candidate for Rookie of the Year in the National League, Cade Horton, who is 9-4, trying to get his 10th win of the season. Cade has a 2.92 ERA, looking to drop that even more with another home victory, hopefully, for the Chicago Cubs. So we'll see what happens. It would be win name number 81 on the season. And hopefully the Chicago Cubs can do it, man. But we'll have to watch and see. It'll be interesting to see who steps up in the place of Kyle Tucker. It'll also be interesting to see what the lineups look like without Kyle Tucker in it. So how the Cubs going to, what the batting order is going to look like without Kyle Tucker in it. Who bats third? Who bats fourth, who bats fifth, who's even playing tomorrow. I think you'll get a large dose of Carlos Santana tomorrow, but that's just me. But you, like I said, you look to guys like Michael Busch, you look to guys like Dansby Swanson, you look to guys like Nico Horner, and you ask them to carry the load on that Wednesday. And let's go for the sweep, man. Why not? Why not? You just got swept. Why not go ahead and sweep another team? Why not start September off the right way? First 3 days, a sweep. It'd be beautiful. You see these same Atlanta Braves next week, and it's literally almost the same exact pitchers pitching. So we'll just have to see what happens. But listen, man, that's my time for today. I appreciate you guys below. Please let me know your comments, your thoughts. I appreciate each and every last one of you for tuning in and for watching Chicago Cubs Central. Remember, this is your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And you can leave a voicemail at 217-816-5498 or write me at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. You also can comment below your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Kyle Tucker's injury? Do you think it's something that could plague him long term? Or do you think that is just something that they're being precautious with the King? Next up, I need you to give your props or drops to the Cubs bullpen. Do you think that they've been good, or do you think that they're starting to figure it out, or do you think that this is just a mirage? And last but not least, the Cubs will go for the sweep on Wednesday. Do you think they can complete the sweep? Let me know in the comments below. Listen, I appreciate each and every last one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, go Cubs, go.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the number one spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.